the 7 o'clock news with anchor Robin Helbing and co-anchor Slick Vic.
Good evening, and welcome to the 7 o'clock news. I'm Robin.
And I'm Slick Vic. Tragic news just broke in, and a man has gone missing.
This is the missing person.
His name is Fortunado, and he was last seen at a Halloween party on Main Street 4 days ago.
It is being speculated as to whether Fortunado disappeared of his own accord, or if it was a crime of revenge.
Several partygoers were asked if they had seen Fortunado. They said that they had seen him earlier in a clown outfit.
When asked if they'd seen him do anything unusual, we got these responses.
Were you at the costume party on Main Street last week? Yeah, I was there. Do you remember seeing this guy in this picture here? Yeah, I remember him, the guy in the freaky clown suit. He was stumbling around though, pretty trash, laughing a lot. He looked happy. I didn't really notice anything weird. Didn't see him after that. Oh, well, thanks for your interview. All right, no problem. Another reported witness to the disappearance of Fortunado. He's right in here. We'll see if you can get an interview out of him.
What?
Yep. Hello?
Oh, Matt?
Matt, hi. I'm from 7 o'clock news. Were you at the costume party last week on Main Street?
Costume party. Oh yeah, the costume party. Yeah, that was a rockin' party.
Do you remember seeing this man there?
Yeah, the clown guy was kind of, I don't know, he's freaky looking, weird, kind of kept to himself, but he was surrounded by a bunch of girls. I talked to him for a little bit, but a few minutes, then after that I do not remember seeing him. Didn't see him leave or who he left with.
Oh, alright, well, thanks for your interview.
Well,
Hi, I'm from 7 o'clock news. Did you happen to go to a costume party on Main Street last week?
Yes, I did.
I'm here. What's your name?
Montresor.
Did you happen to see this man in a costume party or a costume outfit named Fortunado?
Oh, yes, he was in a clown costume. I did see him. I talked to him. He's a determined man. He liked his wine. He risked a lot for wine. Yeah. He was kind of drunk. I think he left early, though. He didn't come back.
Didn't come back?
Nope.
Alright, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Police searched Fortunado's house, looking for clues, hoping to find a lead, but nothing was out of the
And now
ordinary.
we'll take it to the chief of police for his speech on Fortunado's disappearance.
Hello, my name is James. I'm the chief of police and in charge of this investigation. When we went to his house, everything was in place. Nothing looked suspicious. There's nothing, odd or no sign of struggle. All his valuables were still in place. It's odd, He's just kind of gone. We're still looking and hoping to find some sort of lead. Authorities will keep investigating this case, and hopefully something will come up. Until then, join us after these messages for a look at how college parties affect students and their study habits.
The 7 o'clock news 50 years later with anchor Chris Konz and co-anchor Nicole Gianelli.
Good evening and welcome to the 7 o'clock news. I'm Chris Konz and this is my co-anchor,
Nicole.
Tonight, we have a very interesting story for you. 50 years ago, a man by the name of Fortunado disappeared without a trace, never to be seen or heard from again. Police eventually dropped the case because they weren't able to find any leads or suspects.
This morning, a man named Montresor died in a nursing home and his journal was found. Hidden in its pages were the answers to the disappearance of Fortunado.
"50 years ago, Fortunado was murdered by Montresor, who was actually one of the random people interviewed after this terrible crime.
According to the journal, Montresor lured Fortunado into the cellars of his mansion with the promise of wine, only to chain him up and seal him into an opening in the wall.
Wow, Nicole, this just sounds like something right out of a horror movie to me.
Yes, it does. But here are some excerpts from his actual journal.
Well, let's go to it.
Fortunado insulted me constantly, and I took it for as long as I could. But then finally I had had enough and vowed revenge. He had a weak point. He prided himself on knowing all about wine. I said to him, I was foolish enough to pay the full price of the Amontillado without consulting you to see if it was real. And with that, as my story, I lured him down to the cellars below my house to see if the Amontillado that he believed I had stored there was in fact real Amontillado. I knew that he was sick. Come, I said to him, we will go back. Your health is precious. I offered him a way out, but he did not take it. It is nothing, he said, and insisted that we proceed. He told me that I was not of the Masons, and I showed him the tool that would be his downfall to prove that I was. I told him of my family crest, the human foot that is crushing the snake, and my motto, Nemo me impune lacessit. And still he did not guess that the true reason that I had brought him down. I secured him to the wall with the chains around his wrist and around his waist. He was much too astounded to resist. Withdrawing the key, I stepped back from the recess. I began to build up the bricks that would seal him into the wall, building up 11 tiers. At first, Fortunado wanted to believe that I was playing some sort of joke on him, but he soon realized that I was not going to let him out. For the love of God, Montresor, he yelled it many times, only to be met with my reply of, yes, for the love of God. I forced the last stone into position. I plastered it up. In pace requiescat.
The authorities did some research on the crest that's on Montresor's journal, and on the motto that is inscribed under it. It reads, Nemo me impune lecessit, pardon my Latin if I pronounced it wrong. As it turns out, this translates to, no one wounds me with impunity.
Now we will turn it over to the detectives in charge of the case so that they can explain the theories they have about Montresor and his family crest. Nice catch.
Well, thanks.
We believe that Montresor's family motto might have been the real reason for the murder of Fortunado. In his journal, he talks about being insulted by Fortunado, but never does he explain what he did to warrant his murder.
The motto, no one wounds me with impunity, is a fancy way of saying nobody insults me and gets away with it.
Montresor is clearly a mentally disturbed man, and we think that it was a morbid lesson that had been drilled into him in the form of a family motto.
He may have felt that it was necessary to uphold his family's honor, and the only way that he knew to do that was to kill the offender.
And back to you guys. By the way, I am adopted.
Well, there you have it. Finally, the interesting wrap-up of a story that has been a mystery for the past 50 years.
Yes, and thank you all for joining us this evening, and you have a fantastical night. You stay classy, UW Whitewater. Wounds me with impunity.
Now we will turn it over to the detectives in charge of the case so that they can explain.
That was right on the tongue.
It was my
You just
tongue.
gotta pretend like it never happened. We believe that the cause of murder for Fortunado's death is because of Montresor's family motto. In shit. Quick motion. Slow motion for it.
Hello, my name is James. I'm in charge of the investigation to do that again.
We have an interesting story for you tonight. 50 years ago, a man named Fortunado disappeared at a Halloween party, never to be seen or heard from again. Do I fucking more lines?
Yeah. You're doing so good.
Good evening, and welcome to the 7 o'clock news. Why?
Fortunato, but never explains what he did that would warrant being murdered.
The motto, no wounds. Fuck!